Hey guys, how are you? It's Austin Tyler Whitley here, and today I'm going to be going over with us on how plastic is harmful for the environment and just some things we can all work together to try and help change. But why don't we add a little friendly humor before we get started? So pirates say R because they love reducing, reusing, and recycling. If Jack Sparrow can do it, we all can do it, right? Moving on. Many of us are probably asking, what does this have to do with us? Which is a very good question that I am now going to try and answer for us. Plastic can be harmful to all life on Earth, but we all can do our part to help make plastic less. The biggest reason why is Earth is our home. This is where we live. This is where our parents live, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our dogs, our cats, our neighbors. And if we can't do it for the people on Earth, then let's do it for the puppies, right? And another big reason is our health, which in today's limelight of things seems like a perfectly good reason on why to start. And to help along with this, I have many sources, but one of the biggest sources that I found to help along with this presentation is the Ocean Conservancy, which if any of us want to try and know and understand how to help get started and just how this is affecting our planet, is a very good, reliable website. It has tons of information on what we can do and a lot of information on just how it affects the sea life in general. Plastic is harmful. And the pictures on the top litters the landscape, kills animals, and non-biodegradable. It's all true. It's not easy to get rid of. The other two pictures, as you can see, it kind of just lingers and festers there for a while, forever, basically. And a lot of the chemicals in it are poisonous. The chemicals added to plastic are absorbed by human bodies. Some of these compounds are found to alter hormones and have potential human health risk. So yikes, right? The harmful chemicals can also be spread into groundwater from deeply buried plastic in landfills. And invasive species is a very interesting one, which I learned recently too. Invasive species can float on plastic in other habitats. So it can basically help invade other species' habitats. The environmental toll of plastics was a very helpful article I found for this, and it had some very helpful facts, which I'm going to now display for us. People are exposed to chemicals from plastic multiple times per day through the air, dust, water, food, and use of consumer products, which is insane when we all think about it. When we're just like sitting down outside by the pool, plastic could be harming us. The environmental toll of plastics, again, more than 180 species of animals have been documented to ingest plastic debris, including birds, fish, turtles, and marine mammals. And as we can see, this is a rather sad photo too on just the harmful ways plastic can hurt our wildlife. If any of you can't see the chart, don't worry, I'm going to read off of it some. But this is just a bigger picture on just how vast plastic can affect our oceans. And the title of the chart is Plastic Ocean. 120 countries bordering the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian Oceans, and Mediterranean and Black Seas produced 2.5 billion metric tons of solid waste in 2010. So if that was 10 years ago, just imagine or try to imagine how this has affected us 10 years later in our oceans. An estimated 8 million metric tons of plastic entered the ocean that same year, which again is just unimaginably. 2.5 billion metric tons of solid waste is produced all around the world. And within that, 275 million metric tons is plastic waste. 2 billion people within 30 miles of the coast create 100 million metric tons of coastal plastic waste. And every year, 8 million metric tons of plastic goes into the ocean. It wasn't just that year, it's every year. So what can we do, right? Reduce plastic and waste stream, improve solid waste management, increase capture and reuse can all help equal healthy oceans. And on this slide, there are just some sad photos on how this can all affect our wildlife. From a seahorse trying to just pick up a Q-tip, to a turtle wrapped up in plastic wiring, to a poor shark and poor turtle that are being basically just, their bodies changed with how the plastic stuck onto them. They're having to grow into it. Ocean life and ocean plastic pollution is a source that I found very helpful for just showing how inaudible and tragic these facts can have been and how it's affected mammals with the plastic. Fish in North Pacific ingest 12,000 to 24,000 tons of plastic each year. Sea turtles, seabirds, and marine mammals too. Sea turtles, plastic has been found in more than 100% of sea turtle species. They oftentimes mistake plastic for food. Seabirds, 60% of them have been found with plastic in their bodies. That is expected to increase to 99% by 2050. And the sad thing is, when seabirds ingest this, it reduces the volume of their stomach storage, causing starvation. Marine mammals ingest and get tangled up in plastic too. And what's sad is, oftentimes, these animals mistake the plastic for food. And also another fact I found, by 2050, plastic is expected to outweigh all fish in the sea, which is just mind-blowing when you think about it. But it doesn't have to be. The 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle, can equal reduce plus reuse, recycle for a happier Earth. We can all do our part to help change it and all help make the Earth a better place, not just for us, but for all the animals and life we share this Earth with. Neil of Plastic Europe said, in his view, the responsibility is fairly and squarely on the consumer. We are the consumers. It is on all of our responsibility to help try and change this outcome. And how can we do our part? Recycle, recycle, recycle. That's the first one, and that's the biggest one. A lot more things can be recycled than we all think. We can also cook more, which many of us are probably at first like, cook more. Yes, to stay healthy, but also we're not going out and eating as much, so we're not getting the plastic containers, the plastic bags. And oftentimes what happens when we do bring home food is we think about it, get up at midnight, heat it up and eat it, and we forget, well, not so much forget, but we don't want to walk out at midnight to recycle. And oftentimes we do forget, if you have a recycling bin in your house, to throw it away. We oftentimes take it and just put it in the trash and then go back to sleep, right? Stop buying water bottles. This is another very, very interesting one, because the reason I have 20 billion is that is the number of plastic bottles that are tossed in the trash each year, which all of it could mostly be recycled. All of it actually could be recycled, not mostly. And last but not least, bring your own bags. This one is very helpful, a very, very helpful tip, because knowing from firsthand, I used to work at Food Lion. So even though we may frown and shrug when we see people bring in their own bags, we still have to load it. We still have to honor that. And it is helpful for the environment. Also, Aldi's, same thing. You can buy the paper bags at Aldi's. We can buy the plastic bags at Aldi's, or when the Aldi's is stocking, we can get boxes to put our groceries in. But those are just a few of the helpful tips that we can all do our part, small things we can change and just start doing to help. Also, use paper straws, save the turtles. These straws are very helpful, and paper straws, as known, they're not going to be harmful in plastic. And a lot of restaurants are starting to use them. Mellow Mushroom is an amazing restaurant. If any of you have not been, I suggest we all try it. If you go to Myrtle Beach or Wilmington, I know for a fact they have plastic straws for all their drinks. It's very helpful. And the straws on the right it's awesome straws. They're environmental friendly, and I know for a fact my sister has them. They're super easy to use. All we do is wash them out, rinse them off, and we can reuse them for every single meal when we drink, and we don't even ever have to buy plastic straws again. We can even take them to restaurants where we go too. So hopefully we all learned a lot of valuable tips to help out. These were my sources. And last but not least, I just wanted to say thank you. And I hope we all can work together and lessen the plastic waste problem, not just for us, but for our health and safety and for all life on Earth. Thank you again.